this stunningly beautiful country cemetery. It's way out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by farms. You can see all the apple trees here. This is on my regular dual sport route that I ride 3 or 4 times a week from my house. I have about a 30-mile route that I ride on country roads and here in West Michigan, and this cemetery is on my route. So I figured I'd stop here and give you a 4,500 mile update on my 2021 Kawasaki KLX300. I'm winding down my second riding season with this motorcycle, and it looks like I'm on track for another season of riding about 2,500 miles. It's early September right now, and I've got 4,500, so I think I'll finish this season with about a total of 5,000 miles on the bike. So 2,500 miles a season, that's about half or even less than half of what I used to ride every year. But I've gotten really into kayak fishing and fishing on my little Sport Yak 245 boat. So I split my time between fishing and riding this. So that has driven my miles down. So figured it was time to give you an update on this bike. Here we go. So I have pretty much nothing but positive things to say about it. It's just a sweet spot bike for someone in my position. I'm 51 years old. I've been riding for over 30 years. I don't have a need for high horsepower anymore. I don't want the hassles that come with high performance, high horsepower bikes, such as frequent oil changes and valve checks and chewed up sprockets and chains. This bike is 23 horsepower at the wheel or so. And that means, well, how do I interpret that as someone who's ridden so many different types of motorcycles over the years? The power to weight ratio is enough that it's fun to ride, but you're not going to be doing any throttle wheelies very easily on this bike. So if you're looking to do throttle wheelies and very easy wheelies, this is probably not the bike for you. The DRZ 400 is a much easier bike to wheelie than this bike. You can wheelie this bike, but you're probably going to need some clutch to do it. But the positive side of that 23 horsepower, that sweet spot horsepower, is that I have not had to adjust that chain in literally thousands of miles. Once I got through the initial stretch on the chain and got the adjustment set, it has not stretched any further. The bike is not powerful enough to stretch that chain any further. I just measured it this week, and the slack at the tightest spot, which is how you're supposed to measure it according to the manual, is 1.4 inches, dead in the center of what they recommend to have on this chain. And it's been at 1.4 for literally like 3,000 miles. It's just amazing. So if you're like me and you just want to get out and ride your motorcycle and not wrench on it all the time, I know a lot of people enjoy the wrenching and it's zen and relaxing. I happen to not be one of those people. I have too many hobbies and interests and passion. I'm a writer, and I'm a voracious reader, and I'm a hunter and a fisherman, and I ride all the time. I don't want to spend too much time wrenching on my bike, so that's why I bought a Japanese motorcycle, and that's why I bought one that isn't all that powerful. The more powerful bikes, the 650s, even the DRZ, they just chew up the chains and sprockets so much faster than the smaller displacement bikes. So I have not had anything break on this bike in 2 seasons of riding now, and just under 5,000 miles. Nothing's cracked, nothing's broken. I haven't had to replace anything except for the rear tire. The rear tire, Dunlop D605, lasted 3,600 miles, which I thought was perfectly fine. I decided to replace it with another Dunlop D605 because Dunlop tires happen to be on sale for 25% off at my local little small town motorcycle repair shop, and this new tire, same as the stock one, was only $65, and then installed by them, and the old tire taken care of, recycled by them, it was only $99 out the door. So I thought that was fantastic. Front tire is still in good enough shape to last me the rest of this riding season. I'll probably replace it in the spring. Only just within the last month or so have I started to lose some grip around the curves on these gravel roads that I ride all the time. So front tire definitely, you know, it's normal for it to last a lot longer than the rear tire. but that front will probably have to be replaced during the beginning of my third riding season on this bike. I recommend this bike for. I think it's a fantastic bike for people towards the beginning of their dual sport riding career, so newbies. I think the 23 horsepower is not going to be intimidating at all. And I also think it's really wonderful for guys like me who are on the kind of the back end of their dual sport riding career. And you're past that need for speed that you developed during the middle of your dual sport riding career. So I think it's great for beginners, and it's great for older guys like me in their 50s and older who don't really need to do wheelies and have that high horsepower fix anymore. I think it's a perfect bike for those two groups, and the guys in between, they could enjoy it as well. So to kind of wrap up my 4,500 mile update on this bike, it's been a really great ownership experience, just under 2 seasons of riding it. I've had no mechanical problems. I've had nothing break. I don't have any complaints at all about the transmission, the engine, the way it rides, the way it runs. The suspension is spectacular. It's just a really great all-around motorcycle for someone like me who primarily at this time in my life likes the exploration aspect of dual sport riding. Look around me. I live out in the countryside northwest of Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's a really beautiful place to live, and I can't imagine a better way to explore it than in a dual sport motorcycle like this. It's just I can't even tell you how much stress relief I get when I get home from work and I get to hop on this bike and do my 30-mile dual sport ride that I've got mapped out. It's just this feeling of joy that is hard to put into words, and I'm going to be riding until I die. I can't imagine myself giving it up unless I absolutely had to for medical reasons. So thanks a lot for watching.